Tree do. Tree do indeed.
That's how we're starting the evening.
Sure, why not?
Nobody else knows what we're talking about. It's fine. It's
Tree
fine.
don't.
Tree don't. Well,
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm gonna sick tree beard on you here in a bit. That's
you know, if you can do that, I welcome it.
oh, I see.
Just let it happen.
Calling me out.
Call your bluff.
You're right. I got nothing.
Oh,
That guy knows how many axes I own. We are not friends. His friends are underneath my wood pile.
What's happening right now?
Treebeard.
Or rather, Treebeard isn't happening because they're not.
We're still on that rant.
I gotcha.
Yeah.
Justin's giving us heck for going live late. I think you can honestly say this was YouTube's fault.
Yeah. Everything was set up like 6:45. Have all my browsers open. OBS is running. Starting up Zoom. Getting the call going. Everything's golden right until 7:15. Oh, let's go live. Nope. YouTube takes a poop.
Right on your check.
Yeah, this is the third week in a row where that's happened, I think. So I'm going to try not doing it next week and just...
Yeah, like wear a chest protector or something. Like it's
get a splash guard for how bad some of this gets. Oh.
That's how good this knife is.
What's this? Splash guard?
Forgot how good this knife is.
Oh, okay. You need a splash guard?
Yeah.
Is that good?
Yeah. That's twice.
I mean, that should be the title for tonight's episode.
Splash
need a splash guard?
Required. Yeah.
You might need a splash guard, yeah.
That's awful, but okay, we should do it. If you couldn't tell, I'm very easy to convince of silly things.
Anyone playing with fancy stuff? Going last, going first, one third?
I can go first. It's nothing new, but speaking of silly shit, my carry for the week was one I haven't actually had for a while now. And when you say silly shit, how about silly shit that was only made for a year before CRKT discontinued it? Oh, hey, come on, why aren't you popping up? Oh, bummer.
What's up? Ben, good evening, sir.
Good evening. If I say good evening before he puts a comment about Ann Dennis, I can be included as one of the gentlemen.
Yep.
Beat him to the punch. Gotcha. Figured out the tricks. Oh no, I've told him my tricks.
How the turntables. And so quickly, too. Peter Carey, cornerstone with Timascus inlays. Jesus Christ, that makes my CRKT psych look like even worse dog shit. But for the record,
you got that Timascus right up inside the Peter Carey. Like, it's inlaid. It's inlaid.
Oh no.
Oh no.
Yeah, that's all.
That is exactly what I said.
This is where we're going this evening. It's
Indeed. I wish that knife was good.
I feel like you could say that for a lot of CRKT's lineup.
Did I mention that when they came out with the Redemption, I just thought it was an Access Lock Sherlottle? They're like, designed by Ken Onion. I'm like, oh yeah.
Sherlottle or Psych?
Oh, whichever. I don't know.
Because it's like, yeah.
It's definitely Psyche with the coffin handle.
Yeah.
A little bit. I also... Skull Clip. Isn't he cute? Just a little guy.
They should have made that D2 and made it actually function properly.
Well, okay, so for those who weren't aware, because you can't actually see it listed on CRKT's website anymore because they upgraded their site and now it's garbage, the glide lock was something they used to use they decided to update it with a button that locks in place, which is cool. But that actually is the only locking mechanism is for this knife. So you're relying on this tiny little corner of G10 to hold this steel plate in place to keep the blade from folding on your fingers.
It's
Yeah.
fine. It's fine.
So they only made it for
Insane.
like less than a year, and then they're like, you know what? Let's not.
I'm gonna say you make it sound like a bad thing.
Well, it's not a great thing. Let's be honest. I'm a little upset because it would have taken just a little bit more creative shaping, like make it a little bit more of a little bit of a poker, you know? I don't know.
Give it more pokey.
Just a little more pokey, you know?
A little more pokey factor.
Exactly. Give it more of a pokey factor. It's a fun knife to fidget with, and it's fine for cutting stuff. But for the intended use of it's a dagger. It's a 4-inch dagger, so. Eh.
Good times. Good times.
Yeah.
Indeed.
Paul, you want to go next?
Sure. Apparently, it's a theme for the evening with pointy stabby boys because I'm going wee knife angst.
Yeah, you are.
It's very pointy.
You were trying to not slash the palm of your hand open earlier with it, so. It looks like you did nothing.
I will say, Paul, I don't know if it's the camera angle you're at right now, but you're super low. I don't know if that could be adjusted at all, but when you went like this, half your face popped below the screen. Like, hey!
Yeah, it was randomly picking up my closet
Weird.
in the corner, and it kept like blinking in and out. I thought it would be annoying, so
Gotcha. Fair
yeah.
enough.
But maybe I can do.
If that can't be avoided, we understand, but that is not the most flattering. It's
Yeah. We'll see
at
if
least
this
it didn't
works.
get frozen like that. I mean, yeah.
Yeah,
So,
we've had worse days with freezing.
angst you stay.
Yeah, anyone who's sleeping on the angst because they're not sure about like G10 inlays in a G10 frame, it actually looks and feels really cool in person.
Did we lose stream?
I don't think so.
I think we're good.
Yep,
Oh.
I'm still up. It still says live.
Oh, weird.
I mean,
I was gonna. I wonder when he's gonna put my photo up. It's up now because I was like 3 minutes behind
Oh yeah, that'll do it.
for some reason. Yeah.
I was going to make a joke about I wonder how hard it is to get the G10 right up in Peter Carey, but you know,
He works.
probably
in
easier than
Timascus.
Timascus. It's yeah. What's that, Paul?
Timascus is pretty easy, but
What was that, Paul?
I just said he works in Timascus exclusively. You made me say it again, and I got it out the first time.
Make you work on that one for sure.
Yeah, apparently. I gotta chew my words.
just
You
realized
still haven't made this one purple.
No, I haven't. That's a
But
good point.
wasn't there something that you said was preventing you from making it purple? I can't remember.
I was concerned about disassembly, I think, at one point. I was like, there's no way I'm gonna take this thing apart. And then I took it apart. So yeah, I can totally.
I see.
No, was
I
it
see.
this one though? Yeah,
Yeah.
there's something. Where is it?
You had concerns. And I was trying to convince you to wreck your knife because, you know, I'm a good friend. But
No. The concerns are with the Etalon, which I did end up disassembling, but there's parts that I can't remove on it.
yes, the one piece integral G10 good times.
This one hasn't been done because I'm lazy. Thank you very much.
There's a difference.
Yeah.
Would you believe that I met someone today who didn't like the green on the anonymous fixed blade from Benchmade?
Oh, really?
Yeah, said it reminded them of grasshopper guts. Yeah,
I see.
and I laughed. I was like, I could see that, but honestly, I couldn't see it. It's a little confused.
I nodded and agreed.
I don't remember grasshopper guts being green.
Well,
I mean, like
if
blue
they've
black.
freshly eaten, I guess. I don't know, but the
What?
Yeah, I don't know.
Where are we going with this?
Well, I was just gonna say, I actually suggested to him, well, you could dye it black, and it would take very minimal effort, and maybe $10 to $12. and so I brought that up because I was talking about dying stuff. But it made me think of like, guys don't like OD green, or is that kind of an olive drab? Whatever it is, it's pretty mild green. But...
Yeah, I guess. You're like, no, can I get it in a lime, please? It's Do you
like
have anything in a
Kawasaki Racing?
lime? Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I'd kind of be into it a little bit, but
I like my liners that color, like on my Bulldog, my
yeah,
Dan Taupe.
yeah, yeah.
Exactly. So, well, I wasn't carrying a dagger because, come on. Plus, it's the Bark River one over here.
Yeah.
I was gonna say, you could have.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
You have the ability.
Yeah.
Well, maybe less ability.
We were taking the pop out for a walk on Nose Hill, playing in the fall, pretty leaves, and looking at places where wedding photography and stuff like that might come into play. So yeah, and also was carrying, because it might be relevant in the conversation here, a Benchmade mini barrage.
Yeah. So. Hey, look,
well,
you and I both
go.
had knives with bolsters, so there is kind of a connection here after all.
You're reaching.
Yeah, but mine actually stays in place until I want it to move.
Yeah, that's fair.
My bolster's reliable.
Sure, I don't know what you're talking about, sir.
And also having said that as well, I think this actually might be the swan song for the mini barrage. Things come and go, and EDC stuff comes and goes, and the things are filling up in the EDC drawer, and I had to make some choices about what I wasn't going to be carrying anymore. And so I think, yeah, this might be the actual old goodbye to the mini barrage in the EDC box. So
okay, I was gonna say, selling it or are you retiring it?
No. This one's got a home forever for sure. Yeah.
That's the right answer.
It won't be in the EDC drawer anymore, but it's not going anywhere. It'll be in the pouches as far as the memory goes, type of thing, right? So, because I have had that for probably over a decade now.
The right answer.
You've had that knife about as long as I've known you. Yeah.
Yeah, it's one of the ones that's lasted quite a long time in the EDC rotation. It's always been pulled out from time to time and been a nice assisted option. But yeah,
the barrage in general, I've felt for a long time has been a pretty underrated model. Both the large and the small, but the small in particular, it's just such a nice. Anyway. This is one they should never have discontinued, in my opinion, but, you know.
Well, I can't imagine what the price point would be for this thing nowadays.
I try not to think about it that hard.
Well, I think we'll definitely be touching on that at some point tonight.
Yeah, that's definitely part of the conversation.
Semi-reasonable 10 years ago.
Yeah.
And I say semi-reasonable because it was still not a cheap knife, but
Benchmates were always expensive, but never like, well, last 5-7 years have not been kind for Benchmade pricing.
Yeah, so good times.
Indeed.
Very cool.
Hey, we reached our number, and then some.
Oh yeah, and if you are watching our live stream ahead of time, too late. We're here, 7:30. You had to watch the preamble. Gotcha. Oh, I guess we forgot that at the beginning, didn't we?
It's all good. It's the best kind of April Fool's joke, the kind that does not happen in April.
Doesn't make you laugh.
No,
I love the idea that they're waiting for us to tell them to do it.
You're like, what am I supposed to skip ahead, man?
What the hell, guys? Yeah.
You wait until now to tell me? Jesus.
Damn it. Now I got to go back and then skip forward again.
Yeah. 10 seconds. All right. Good enough.
Well, it's okay. We rode 2 minutes over, so it's all good. But I think this does segue pretty nicely into tonight's topic, which you probably saw in the title.
What is our title?
I call it
Updated Benchmades? Yeah.
Dennis,
take the Benchmades you thought you knew and make them different.
Benchlier.
Benchlier.
Benchlier. Don't worry about it.
Make them
Here-
more expensive. Take all of what you've got, make some minimal changes, triple the goddamn. No.
Yep.
I mean, not quite. Not quite.
Well,
But
here's a lovely photo Dennis has of the spread of all the updated
Oh my.
models here.
I
Yeah.
wonder if anything will get as much hate as the Hornbill did last week. I mean, CPM's in chat, so I mean, fire away, dude, fire away. But I don't think
dude.
you can beat Dick Richards. He went hard in the paint on that silly knife last week. Anyway.
We're already on topic for him to go off on. So
Well, that's
perfect.
what I mean. 7
Yeah.
Benchmades. I mean, fire away, sir. Fire
There's
away.
gotta be something here you just fucking hate. So I mean, just go for it, right? Oh, well, I guess we could do a quick rundown on the models that are here. So, a lot of material changes here. These are all models that have existed prior in Benchmade's catalog, some for a long while, some not nearly as long. There was some confusion on my part about and this is a conversation I had with Dennis, about that Weekender being a limited edition. There's a Knife Center video and a Knife Center website that actually says limited edition for that Weekender down at the bottom there.
Is it
nothing on Benchmade's website indicates that it's limited at all.
Is it the Knife Center website or is it just a Knife Center website?
You caught that. It is. Yes. The answer is yes.
Yeah, like, yes. It's Dav Gear. God damn Dav Gear.
I want to say, Cal in chat is complimenting your picture there, Dennis.
Yeah, that's just because if you stuff as many Benchmades together as you can in full, you're like, ta-da. No,
Yeah.
thanks, man. I appreciate that. It's all right. I got them stacked pretty good together there. That orange pops at the top of that page, though. Jesus. I'm going to start something really weird right now. I'm going to ask everyone what their most favorite and least favorite is out of this batch, and we can kind of fire away from there.
Yeah, okay. Oh, man.
All right.
Yeah, take that. Take that, flip it on the head.
Number one?
Now,
Hmm.
because I could overcomplicate the shit out of this question. Which knife do I like the most that's available, or the number one that I would pick personally? Man, just finished saying how much I like the Barrage and how I think it's such an underrated knife. Those Rich Light hammers are nice. I don't know, Paul. Do you have a quick, easy answer? Still.
Oh, it's not a quick and easy answer. It kind of follows your train of thought, though, as far as I intend to buy that green Flyway in S90. So, by argument, that is my favorite. But that Adamas looks pretty damn good.
It really does.
It's not too shabby. Yeah.
And the Rich Light makes me want a Barrage. So,
yeah.
I think and by all means in chat, favorite, even if you don't like Benchmates, favorite to choose from out of the 7. The least hated, I guess. if you need to phrase it like that.
Yeah.
Make it what you will. I don't care, boys. Let's do this. Yeah. I almost agree with Cal. Weekender, but price is a killer. Yeah. If I had my favorite on that thing, S90 and that burgundy with the nickel silver bolster and the blibbity blah, that's a good looking knife, man. But Jesus, it's more expensive than a Magna Cut Adamas. So
yeah.
What does it go for?
$5 more than the Magna Adamas on Polar Bear dollars. I'm not sure. Yeah.
Like 437-ish?
Have they figured out the locks issues with the Adamas? Is the Magna Cut heat treated properly? There's so many variables on that one. And is that the safe bet? Again, with Paul, S90 Flyway. I mean, that one's on the short list for me too, because like that's a scalpely little blade for S90 to be in.
I want a Bush scalpel. That's exactly what that's going to be for me.
Yeah.
For me, it actually is a toss-up between the Weekender and the Barrage. The reason it's a toss-up, I don't know whether it's just nostalgia or not that I'm so drawn to the Barrage, but like that was one of my most carried models, the old the Grivery or Grivex or whatever it is with the 154 CM. Getting an upgrade in S30V with Rich Light handles, oh, that's super cool. And that Crater Blue, it looks great in person, and it feels super nice.
Yep.
If we're not thinking about price, because there's like a, what is it, like it's a $40 price jump or $50 price jump between the Barrage up to the Weekender.
At least, probably.
Yeah.
Hundo, give or take 80.
Is it a
Yeah.
hundo?
Yeah, 80.
At that point, if we're thinking about price Barrage, if not potentially Weekender, I keep hoping that they're going to come out with like a long Weekender or something like that, single blade with a bottle opener. It's a little bit longer overall, just to go with the name, and I'll buy it. But
Okay.
yeah,
See, I thought you were going a different direction. I started nodding along, and then you said all the things you just said.
then
And I
you
would
didn't.
like to retract. I would like to take my nodding back, please.
How dare you, sir? Where did you think I was going? Because I might like your idea more.
I was thinking you were going for like a full proper Swiss Army. Make
Oh,
a
fuck yeah, but
Benchmade Spartan.
Okay, sure, but if Benchmade were to make it, it would cost like $2,000. So there's no way.
I don't think that Benchmade today should make it, but they should have made it 10 years ago, but I could have afforded it.
Okay, and with that I agree, but yeah, I think the Barrage probably tops out if we're considering price. Guys get caught up in edge retention a lot, and we've talked about it on the channel a lot. I know I bring it up a lot, but Benchmade's S30 is pretty good. It's pretty good to go. They know what they're doing for the heat treatment. You're going to get really decent edge retention out of it. And I can say from experience that knife, that handle shape, it's great for long-term cutting chores. It's great to fidget with. It's great to carry. It's a very easy recommend for sure.
I just want to quickly
Go ahead.
go off topic and say CPM in chat is saying that he got himself a Cold Steel Mayhem. Neat. That is all.
Yeah. That's
indeed.
a crazy good time. Hopefully we'll have them coming in soon to play with as well, type of thing. So
Absolutely. Let us know if you lose any fingers.
yeah. I mean, that handle's so big to disengage the engage. I don't know how you'd get your fingers even wrapped around it, to tell you the truth. Is you're so far back on the handle. It's yeah.
I was just thinking of 7 fingers. You know, Alan Lynn, Mr. Thompson.
I would also point out the fact that a mini Super Freak is going to come home with me soon here. Paul and I have a little bit of an arrangement.
Indeed.
Yeah, that's right. That's exactly what you think it is. Yeah, and I'm going to end up with a mini.
I may or may not have already ended up with a full size.
Yeah, you did.
Children,
I'll
all of
say
us.
right now, I like the big one, but the small one is also a great EDC size.
It's pretty. It's pretty. Yeah.
I've been talking about my evolution of EDC and blah blah blah, and I don't imagine how a full-sized Super Freak, as much as I love it, is going to beat a Contigo when I need a hard use knife.
Yeah,
and the
that's fair.
Contigo will always have a home for me. So when I'm looking at grabbing a hard use knife, I found the full-size mini Super Freak. Yeah.
Full size mini Super Freak.
Yeah.
It's
reverse engineered, don't you know?
It's all things.
It's all things. It's omnipotent.
Yes.
It is everything and nothing.
We're
Everywhere
not kidding
and
about
nowhere.
super freaky. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
But anyway, yeah, it's gonna actually be added to the EDC rotation. So
That's
I'm
so
biased.
funny.
Yeah.
So you're losing out the Barrage, but you're going in with the mini Super. That's neat.
I also have a bit of a short bucket list with a Kaiser Feist and 4V that's made it into my EDC rotation. And I think it'll be a short list knife for me, but it also kind of gives me a spot for a short list knife from time to time if I want one, right? So
what's a short list knife?
It's not a forever knife. Kaiser Feist with 4V, it might get sold, it might get retired. It's not a forever knife. It's in there because I'm having fun with it, and it wasn't just a honeymoon phase for 24 hours, and then you ended up being a Boker Nessmuck that I just put on the wall over here. I don't know what you're talking about.
Noted. Well, you let me know when you want to sell me your Feist.
Yeah, we'll get there.
Yeah.
I really like the fact that no one even called out the tag out in chat, in group. No one the only
No.
other option with Magna Cut on the shelf is the bright orange one. Come on.
Yeah.
So theoretically, that would be my choice. But with the money, with the coding, and with not really knowing what Benchmade's doing for their heat treatment on the Magna Cut, I don't know how I feel about that.
I thought they were saying 63 to 65.
Well, if they had that information available, it certainly has been taken off their website, so who knows what they're deciding to do.
Places say 63 to 65 as a general rule because I think at one point that information was available.
Yeah.
But it's not now. So if something comes up as a controversy, maybe Benchmade could just say that aren't claiming that.
Maybe they can just put it back on their website. That'd be
maybe after the controversy dies down.
Well, 63 to 65 is pretty goddamn high, even for Magna Cut.
Yeah.
For the record,
isn't that like pushing too high?
That's okay. So yes. Laren Thomas, the designer for Magna Cut, had actually stated that for thinly ground, high hardness Japanese kitchen knives, you might consider a 63 to 64. That's an application where, yeah.
I thought it was like 61, 62 was the sweet spot for all the normal
all the people that were complaining were wrong?
Yeah.
Neat.
Yeah, like more wrong than you would think. You can actually go to, right now, you're going to go to knifesteelnerds.com. Well, maybe wait for the video to end, but
didn't
go look.
Didn't Laren post something like, hey, cool, your Jets, boys, you are getting carried away for no reason? Yeah.
Yes. Yeah, and he even went on record and said, yeah, the steel's great, but you need to give a knife proper geometry, like more so than the heat treatment. Make sure that the geometry is correct. But then don't get bogged down in these numbers. And he did a whole video about it. He wrote a whole article about that video, and like it's. So I don't know why Benchmade would say that they're running it that hard. I hope that wasn't actually the case, but who knows? Benchmade.
Well, they took it off, their website. So I mean, I'm sure the wolves will be unleashed because anything Benchmade does get put under so much scrutiny, sometimes for justified reasons, but they'll be fed to the wolves if it comes up as being whatever, right?
Yes.
Look, what I've noticed about Benchmade heat treat is no matter which direction it goes, people are going to yell at them about it.
Which is kind of silly too, because like they have a good track record with certain steels, and then it's kind of all over the map lately.
Well, I'm just wondering how many broken blades on batoning. Is it the lock or the blade that breaks first at 63 or 65? 65 Rockwell with a Japanese kitchen knife do some batoning. Which one fails first? Lock of the blade. Lock of the blade.
Which of these knives are you batoning with?
The Adamas. At a 65, if that's too high hardness for a Magna Cut.
We've already proven ourselves, though, that batoning with an Adamas is a bad idea.
Well, okay, but apparently there's been some adjustments being made, supposedly, on lock bar-y stuff. So I don't know if the improvements are coming or not.
If they are, I haven't seen it on the new Mini.
Yeah.
No, the updates that I've heard was that the lock bar is kind of crumpling a little bit as opposed to the lock actually sliding and failing and having it fold. So I don't know how that's going to turn out, but DBK did a video on it fairly recently, I think.
Oh yeah? Okay.
I think so. Yeah. Dude who made Magna Cut said 65 is perfectly acceptable. I don't know if he actually specified 65 as an upper limit or not. Reference the article. It's on his website. It's a good time.
Can I just say, me myself, I would very much like a Magna Cut blade at like 65, 64.
In a kitchen knife? Absolutely.
In the kitchen? Yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
So while we're talking about Magna Cut, you might as well throw up a picture there, Joe, if you've got a Adamas picture. We might as well, because we're talking about that one. Swap away from the 7 big boys. The bigger boy.
Oh, the bigger boy.
And do a little focus shots, comparison. A, B, and C.
A, B, and C. All
Did you get a full size in there? No.
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 No, there was a shot full of people when I took this photo.
Yeah, there was. Yeah. So, good times. Desert Tan, which is also one I have. Gray, black, charcoal. I don't know. What do they call it?
Charcoal, I think.
Yeah, I don't know if they have a fancy name for the black one or not. Yeah.
I think they call it I think it's just the black Adamas, to be honest with you. I think it's a BK. But I think that blade, I would describe that blade as charcoal for sure.
I know they were calling their blade coating something like charcoal. They just call it Black G10 on their websites. Now I'm curious about the names.
So, yes, as far as the lockup issues on the Mini Adamas are concerned, it's kind of been figured out what the major issue was. And if you zoom in on the lock bars in particular, there's no more room to travel forward. So as far as a solid lockup goes, where it sits is where it sits, and it cannot adjust any further because the holes in the handle are cut out to max capacity.
It's almost like a frame lock or a liner lock that's extended all the way across. There's no more room for adjustment.
Whereas if you look at some of the older Benchmades, like there you got like a little bit of travel where you've got some space where you can still sink in deeper if you need to, type of thing, right?
Yes. And this doesn't seem to be an issue with the full-size Datamas. So the working theory that I think we're mostly in agreement at the shop is they potentially took the CAD drawings for the full-size Datamas, shrunk it down, and didn't adjust the actual slot distance to accommodate more engagement surface.
Yes. So having whatever it is, a 16th of an inch of travel, being able to have that is now like, an 1/8 of an inch, is now a 67 of an inch because of not proper adjustment, right? Yeah. So
I'm pretty sure my my SHOT Show one is completely bottomed out.
Unfortunately.
You can't really feel up and down play in use, but if you grab the blade and the handle, you can make it make noise. It'll sing the song of its people.
Yep, unfortunately.
Yeah.
So, good looking knife though. It's a good looking knife.
I am so happy they went with this marbled carbon fiber instead of the weird, like, do you guys remember the original pictures for these things? They look like computer generated, and it just looked like end grain carbon fiber, but like kind of more like G10 than carbon fiber. This looks nice. This looks really nice.
And I will say we've had one of our regular customers actually order one online through our company and has a mini crewware that has failed over and over again, and he spine whacked the crap out of the MagnaCut one and apparently is pretty damn solid.
It's good to hear.
So sent me a video of him spine whacking the crap out of it. Lockup was no problem, had no issue with it. Then grabbed his brown one, got it to fail first time, and then threw it across the lawn. So it was a good video. It was a good video.
That's awesome. You need to share that at some point.
So before I came downstairs tonight and started to go live here, I'm sitting at my desk here and getting everything loaded up, and I grabbed my mini brown Adamas and got it to fail on about the 4th whack. I was whacking pretty good, but yeah, it wasn't the first one. It was the 4th one. But I'm pretty sure that,
And I can say that from personal experience when we were batoning with them, that my my purple one, or blurple, or whatever burgundy you want to call it, it was a couple strikes in before the handle failed, and it locked back up immediately, very much like in DBK's videos, but slightly disappointing for a hard use knife.
Yeah, lock slip is not the way you want your lock to fail, for sure.
You should have just saved that one there, Justin.
Yeah.
Well,
Look, I don't need to hear about it.
I don't know. I don't know what you do in your basement, but
I think you have a good idea.
if you're sitting on a tricycle, you're doing it
Hmm.
wrong. That's it.
Somebody's getting on your nerves.
Stuck. You're stuck.
Yeah.
Paul's gone. Yeah.
So
Yeah. I was thinking of talking in my head there for a moment.
pivot collars, you say?
Indeed.
Yeah.
So how much extra money do you think that pivot collar added to the cost of this here NAS?
50, $60.
There you go.
Well, $50 is the standard answer, right?
It's really hard to see in this photo, and I didn't take any follow-up shots, but the liners, pocket clip, and that ring are all the same.
Yes.
Like OD green, not OD green, like flat earth.
Kind of tan, goldy
Goldy.
sort of colored. Yeah.
Yeah.
Do
And
you know if that's a Cerakote or what that is?
I would assume Cerakote.
Assume. We can go to their website.
I was gonna say I'm there now. I'm just looking. Yeah. Clip, flat dark earth, PVD clip.
I didn't
Got
take a
some
picture
PVD
from the
thumb
clip
studs
side.
as well.
I'm okay with PVD for this. At least it
Funny
wasn't blue.
So one of the things, though, if you are going to their website, kind of funny, check it out, makes me laugh. Is
Why am I searching Benchmade?
they now have a news section.
They do.
What?
I mean, they also have the titanium bailout. We'll get there. We'll get there, boys.
Yeah.
But yeah, they now have a new section. The Benchmade's website keeps on changing, and it's usually not for the good. But the other thing about this website that's happened is that if you actually scroll all the way down, the Mini Adamas and MagnaCut is not actually on the first page at all. It's the only thing on page 2, and it says sold out.
Is it because it's sold out that it doesn't
Yeah,
appear on the front anymore?
Pretty sure, but it's funny that the first picture about it is the recently added with a picture of the Mini Adamas with MagnaCut. And then you actually scroll through the products and you can't find the Mini Adamas with MagnaCut.
That is pretty funny.
You can find all the autos that we don't get to play with, because apparently they dropped a crap ton of those too this week.
Mhm.
The autos, huh?
We just don't get to play with them. Mini infidels and so on and so forth.
Yeah, I don't like thinking about them because I want them. Also,
Yeah.
god damn, $600?
They need to make.
We'll get there. We'll get there.
They need to make an infidel this size.
Okay, for the record, I was under the impression that the colored version of the infidels were all limited. I'm fairly certain that when they were introduced, they were talking about how they were going to be very limited production. I wonder if that's still the case. Anyway.
They need to make a mini fixed blade.
Is it Magna?
Infidel.
What's
Magna?
the steel?
I was just looking at specs. Why couldn't I recall?
I just saw you look at specs and I didn't see.
Say. Oh, S30V instead of D2. So
I was going to say he's a D2.
Wow, 650. Bling bling. Let's do this, boys. They got crew wear with CF Elite that's not even that expensive. Like, holy God.
Woof.
yet another Benchmade. Yet another example of Benchmade trying to become a premium lifestyle brand. You can get Hogues. You can get, dude, the carbon fiber and 20 CV gorgeous fucking OTF that they have that was introduced, I think, at either the beginning of this year or late last year. I can't remember. I think it's half the price of this, little over half price of this. Come on.
I have to ask Infinite Gunworks a question here. 650 for S30. What is this? The 90s? Was it so expensive in the 90s because it hadn't been invented yet, or
was this 30 2000?
I thought it was in the early 2000s.
I can't remember. I used to know things.
2001.
We're getting way off track. But while we're talking about pricing, so it's $325 for the Black G10 Mini Animus, and for the MagnaCut it goes up to, $375. Honestly, that's not a crazy leap, given that you're getting marbled carbon fiber, which is much more expensive to get stock of compared to G10, and you're getting MagnaCut, which is Is it that much more expensive than crew wear? I'm not 100% sure. I know the heat treat's probably going to be a bit more finicky, but
It's probably mostly that carbon fiber. Let's be honest here, cost wise.
Yeah, but this is actually, I'm going to segue into the Weekender because you got $50 increase on this son of a bitch, and you've got more than $100 on a Weekender that doesn't really change anything except for blade steel from S30 to S90.
yeah, that's kind of fucking rough. Let's pull up.
You go from G10 to marbled carbon fiber, rosebud carbon fiber, whatever the hell you want to call it, type of thing. No, it's not rosebud. This one's just normal. Yeah.
Actually,
and MagnaCut with pivot collars and whatever type of thing. The Weekender already had pivot collars. We were already paying the goddamn premium for the pivot collars. You can't make me pay more premium for more pivot collar. You've already got maximum pivot collar money. There's two.
There's the word silver in there.
Nickel.
I think the word.
It's 5 cents.
Not the material.
No, it's not. These are pivot collars that they didn't even color. They didn't even put any effort into. They just made them, burnished them, and then installed them. They didn't color them, so that they can leave me alone. The pricing on this is fucking out to lunch. So yes, S90V is harder to grind, and yes, there's 2 blades in this thing, but I don't know that it's that much harder to grind on a automated machine compared to S30V in Benchmade setup. This is like a huge jump,
right?
What's that?
They're using like end mills to make these blades, I would assume.
Oh no. Belts, definitely abrasive belts, but it's all computer controlled, and I mean they're going to be using decent ceramic media. But my point is, like, for how small these blades are, you can't really expect there to be a noticeable uptick in tool wear to the point for you to increase this thing by. I'm sorry, I navigated away from Benchmade's website. What is the price gap here?
On the Weekender?
It's $380 for the new one, or $380 American for the new one. What was the old one?
The old one.
Why am I only getting the Atomos and the Benchmade search is bonked, by the way.
Bonked?
I was gonna say something much more rude, but
we get the black battle wash on.
You don't like it?
I don't like it. I don't like it. Maybe if I look up the code 317, maybe that'll work.
The other ones aren't coming up.
No, they're not.
Yeah, I can see that too.
What the
for
fuck?
Some reason.
Okay, so what the hell?
No, 317-1 is not available.
So did they disco the other 2 in order to release this thing and then jack the price?
Interesting.
Wow, that's awful. Okay.
So I don't know if those are discontinued. We've noticed glitches like that on Benchmade's website before where we thought Super Freaks were getting discoed and then they came back, right?
They had to take them off the website so people wouldn't realize how much of a price jump they were.
Probably not untrue, but
yeah.
There is 2 results for the Weekender, and one of them is a mini Adamas that's already sold out.
I was gonna say, like, what the hell? Your search is bullshit.
You can buy this Weekender or nothing, you son of a bitch.
And using the
maybe what they meant when they were talking about the Weekender being limited edition, it was the other 2. And they were like,
dude, I swear, ever since leadership changed at Benchmade, things have just been this weird spiral. Like, just fucking odd.
They didn't do the thing where all 3 of them were together in the same page?
Nope.
Huh.
So I'm just going to rely on the Cutting Edge's price points because they have them available. They're not dog shit. So, okay. It looks like the map pricing, or sorry, not MAP, MSRP on the originals were 320 Canadian. You know what? 320 CAD to USD. That's 235.70 USD, and the new one is going for $539.99.
You're looking at a Crooked River right now.
Am I?
Yeah.
Oh no, I'm not. I'm sorry. I actually navigated to Cutting Edge's website in a different window.
Okay, sorry.
I didn't realize it stopped streaming that. Yeah, sorry. I'll go back to these while we're talking about them.
You specifically said the exact same price as that page too, so I was really confused.
That's funny. No. But wait, sorry, USD to CAD. That should be CAD 2. Here we go. So
And
390.
just
Yeah.
a quick random aside, Ben and Dick Richards are talking about strength tests, Adamas, blah, blah, blah. Yes, those old school tests with the old school Adamas and the strength tests that Benchmade used to have were pretty badass. My Contigo's in that grip too. And it's insane what they used to do with some of those old school locks, but that's not a new one. So
I imagine the full size would do better in that test.
So
it actually locks up a lot better than the minis.
just as an aside, Americans are paying $150 more, 150 more American for S90V and a darker blade finish.
yeah, it's battle. It's
Putting that out there.
Battlestar Galactica wash or whatever the hell it is. That's yeah.
Now, I get that slip joints could be difficult to make. It could be very difficult to make well. And the action actually on the, kind of back on topic, on the new Weekender is actually probably the nicest out of the three that I've handled. The three different variations I've handled. But did it really take 150 American to get there? I don't know.
Yeah, they got to make up for losing money on the Magna Cut Thomas. They gotta.
Oh yeah, they're
have
losing
some-
money at that point.
Yeah,
Fuck.
fleeced. It's giving you your shirt.
Look, Joe, they made 0.5% less. Who else is going to buy them their yacht?
Yeah.
If not you.
Oh, the mini
Me.
infidels. The mini infidels are going to buy them their yachts.
Oh, that's fair. That's fair. You got me there. They need to make a fixed bladed mini infidel because their fixed bladed pricing is a little bit better in some cases.
It's slightly more palatable, but not always.
Oh, good segue. Let's talk about an altitude.
Yeah, we got a lot of knives to cover. Yeah,
Speaking of,
the altitude is simultaneously the knife that changed the most and the least, in my opinion. We didn't get the old one for a side-by-side comparison, but the original only had like a little thumb pad up near the forward section of the handle that was carbon fiber. The new version here,
They made it properly
yeah, they did a whole scale because why not?
because there was a whole aftermarket developing from.
Yeah, I would have loved
Stop that.
to be able to have the two side by side with a scale to actually weigh the difference, because this knife actually feels decently comfortable in hand now, and given that it's carbon fiber, I don't think it's going to be that much heavier. But the flip side to that is it's the same blade steel, it's the same Cerakote, it's, I believe, the exact same profile. Watch me misspell altitude 3 times in a row here. Okay, so they changed the lanyard hole slightly, it looks like, from this Amazon picture they had. But the profile of the handle is about the same. Yeah, I don't think they changed that.
I think they squared off the corner where the lanyard hole is a little bit.
match up with the scale. But that's about it, right? Like it's,
Yeah. Oh, I don't know if they did. There's a little bit of a square angle here. Yeah. Can I zoom in? Are you gonna let me zoom in? Oh yeah, they got
that hole that you couldn't put a screw through.
Can I open the new page? No. Okay, I guess we're just gonna have to live with this. Yeah. Weird. They also did away with the weird camo print sheath that the old one used to come with. The new one.
But that camo print sheath was an indication that they were donating money to the Elk Foundation.
Oh, was it? Okay.
Rocky Mountain Elk Foundation. Yeah.
Okay, fair enough.
At one point in time, I don't know if it.
I would assume if the sheath has changed, it's probably ended.
Yeah. Now you get this sweet orange and black one.
Yeah, like all the rest.
Yeah.
That may or may not hold your knife in properly.
No, this one holds in fine.
Ah, this one. That's good.
The altitude seems to be okay. We'll get there with the.
Yeah, this is the sheath here. Do we only get the one picture? Oh, thank you for including this disassembly picture. It's super great.
Well, yeah. I mean,
I always wanted to know. And now I know.
4 pivot collars.
Yeah. Thoughts, concerns, comments about this model? It's still an altitude. It's still all the things we said previously, but now with like 2/3 more handle.
There is a decent chance that if they had come out with this originally, I wouldn't be buying myself a flyway because I probably would have already owned if they made the black bladed one. I'd be really hard pressed not to own that.
Yeah,
Yeah, that would be cool.
Now, I said to the guys when this one came out that this is the way it should have been the first time around. There's no doubt in my mind that this is the way they should have made it. I understand that they were trying to like super minimal, like nothing to it, blah, blah, blah. But I've talked a couple different times about if this much carbon fiber was the make or break and not the really expensive optics and spotting scopes in your pack, like you've got bigger fish to fry at that point type of idea, right? Like it's that carbon fiber little strip was more about Benchmade saving money than it was and marketed towards uber lightweight, but they could get 4 handle scales out of this one strip.
Yeah, exactly.
Like it's
yeah. I will say this handle is quite comfortable. The pinch grip, very nice, very nice.
Well, and it fills it out just enough to still be very lightweight, very intentionally as a scalpel, whatever type of feel to it, but just gives it enough that it doesn't feel like it's just this knife's not done type of vibe, right? Like it's
I don't want to have to wrap my handle in paracord because I don't like paracord handles.
Yeah, especially if you're trying to not worry about a bunch of blood and guts getting caught up in the inside of your knife as you're skinning and cutting it.
No, I want the little joie de vivre of.
Well, I was just gonna say it's super easy to clean out. Have you seen the disassembly?
But however, when I put it back together, dude,
this knife.
Yeah. And that's fine. That's fine. Yeah, I don't know. I still think this is fairly recommendable. Price point on this guy, 300 USD. Yeah. Still Benchmade pricing, but like Paul said, the fixed blades don't seem to be as out to lunch. Although I do wish that Benchmade would be more competitive. Oh, I think we did a little hiccup there.
Yeah.
Maybe for a second. I don't know.
I was just saying I wish Benchmade would be a little bit more competitive. They have the advantage of relatively mass manufacturing. This knife should be cheaper, but that's just a Benchmade complaint, so I'll leave it at that.
Yeah, that's the main Benchmade complaint at this point, let's be honest.
Yeah. Sure feels a lot nicer in hand than the old one did, though, like in a full grip. Like,
what's the price difference between this and a flyway?
Oh, good point.
Same price.
Really?
$300 on their website?
On their website, okay. No,
$260.
It's 300 CAD.
Okay. I don't know what the altitude is.
300 US on their website. 260 for the flyway. 300 on the
Which makes sense for carbon fiber over G10. I would argue.
Yeah.
$40 is negligible.
Well, and a sheath that fits.
Yeah, that helps too.
So $40, you know they had to cut corners somewhere for that 260. We can't be giving these things away, man. We gotta cut corners somehow.
I'm just so confused because like these thermal molded sheaths are not super difficult to make, and we know that companies like Spyderco, it's Bolteron, but I don't think there's ever really been an issue with retention on them. If anything, a little bit too high of a tension because it's too tight of a mold. But you
I
guys,
wonder if you could Ranger band it.
Yeah.
Just enough to tighten the sheath up. Yeah,
maybe.
Even to the point where actually when the new S90 version came into the shop, I actually looked up on Benchmade's website to see if the stock thickness had changed because I thought there was enough of a difference that I thought Benchmade maybe was making the S90 one slightly thinner and still trying to use the same sheath.
Yeah.
That wasn't the case, and I could not justify why the sheath didn't fit properly, other than Benchmade's just rushing, I don't know, 20 new models this year or some crap like that type of thing, right? So, P.S. All the autos, like it's
Well, autos and bug outs. Let's be honest.
Well, and I mean, even just what we're looking at for a mid-year release, we're looking at 7 new models that all got released within the last month.
Yeah.
Right. So, like, who else is doing that? I mean, CRKT just blew all their wad in February and March because that's what they do, and then they did exclusives. It's for the rest of the year. Yeah. But realistically, who else is just like all of a sudden like a mid-year drop? I mean, there's overseas companies, We Knives, Civivi Knives, Kaiser Knives, things like that are doing that. But as far as the big box brands, Benchmade is at least the only ones that's coming out with something. Yeah.
Maybe the increased pricing is actually reflective of that strategy. I hate to even broach that, but like maybe we're looking at the results of having that variety this quickly.
Yeah, if you want something new, who else has got it to offer type of thing? I mean, ZT did just what is it? Repost the fact that the 0006s were coming back in stock soon. So I mean, there's something to look forward to.
Is it?
For someone, I'm sure.
Yeah,
that's
sure.
fair. It's not a bad knife. I shouldn't give it shit. It's
but it's one new anyway.
As far as dropping out new models, they're dropping something. But
I was gonna say I don't like the way you worded it by dropping them out.
So
like it's hot, sir.
Let's say you drop this this Kydex sheath into a hot boiling pot of water. How easy do you think it would be for people to fix the sheath at home, make it tight enough? You don't think so?
Dude, look at the flappies. Look at the flappies at the end.
Those flappies,
that's
gonna curl right up like a potato chip.
Oh, I don't mean leaving it into boil, but like getting it mostly warm, applying a little bit of pressure.
I would be, I think, hitting it with a heat gun and turning it with a heat gun, and then reclamping it.
Yeah.
My concern is it looks like they're using a slightly larger mold of the knife in order to get that really crisp depression. But I would be worried about overdoing it. This isn't like your typical. I have enough fixed blades on hand with Kydex sheaths. Anyway, typical Kydex sheath where it kind of comes up to a lip. This actually flares out, and it does make it nice for withdrawing from the sheath when the tension is set correctly. But if you have to reset this, I'd be worried that you're going to end up deforming that, and then it's not gonna sit nicely.
And I might not be looking at remolding at that point. I might actually be looking at just drilling another hole through the very top and putting a screw in a washer up at the very top on the spine side to just tighten it up
that
on
actually
the spine side and adding another hole.
Idea. That may not be a bad
Put
idea.
a screw and a washer onto it and just tighten it up on.
That was why I suggested the Ranger bands the first case, because it's the easiest thing potentially you could do
without modifying the sheath big time type of thing, right? Like it's
I gotta say that as far as neck carry, I've carried my Hidden Canyon with a sheath very much like this, and the thing that I like about it the most as a guy carrying it around his neck is that wide open mouth is super easy to get your knife back into in a way, compared to most other sheaths that are pretty tight. You can do it one-handed without really having to think about it, and just put the sheath against your heart and then just hope for the best.
Yeah.
And you can decide what hoping for the best means in that situation.
Oh, dark subject matter. So that's the flyway. Did we actually say what the big to-do was about this? S90?
S90?
What? S90 instead of 154?
Okay. Yeah. So
what's the 154 price point?
200.
You can actually
so you're paying
because they have
Yeah. So you're paying $60 more, 60 American more for S90.
And 4 pivot collars. I mean, that's a steal. They have a disassembly and everything on it.
Oh yeah, nice. you don't get pivot collars on the new one. Wow.
On the 154. On the old one, Yeah.
Well, at least you're still getting G10, so you're not paying crazy prices. But
4 pivot colors and S90. I mean, said they're giving it away. No wonder the sheath sucks. They can't give this thing away for free, guys. Come on. That's like that $35 piece of crap that just came in with the nylon sheath. I mean, they got to compensate on something, right? Like it's
Infinite in chat just made a good point.
Really?
I don't get the orange sheath with the green G10. That's funny. I like that. It's literally camouflage under a high-vis vest. And they already have an orange one. Is the only reason why this one's not orange. Is because if they made them both orange, it'd be really confusing.
I'm surprised that they didn't go with orange blade and carbon fiber handle, or just satin blade and carbon fiber handle. I'm happy they didn't, because that means the price gets to be a little bit lower. I do agree. Green is a strange choice, though. It's
well, and I really like how their green has now become the I don't know where to put this color, because the Raghorn is S30, like tagged out is S45.
Anonymous is everywhere.
Yeah,
it's all over the map. Yeah.
Yeah, the Meat Crafter can be S45 depending on which version of Meat Crafter you get. Like it's with the green. But no, both of them. Even the creamy one was S45 too, wasn't it?
Yeah.
With the bolstered.
So
yeah. Fancy limited one that you couldn't get before they re-released it. Yeah. So, but
I got one thing I got to say that's random silliness.
Okay.
Dick Richards commented on this knife being a really good little caping knife, and then Ben underneath said as a camping steak knife. But I read it as a caping steak knife, and I really had very strong urge to be like, don't do that. Don't combine these two things.
When you cape your steaks.
Well, yeah, I don't think you should use your hunting knives to eat your meals with. It just seems like cross contamination.
Lemmy, thanks for joining us. Carrie and the Norseman. Matt Szymanski, seen the Buck Alpha Scout or the Alpha Hunter? Yeah, I've seen him. I've seen better. No. I don't. The Scout, I think, is the smaller one. The Alpha Hunter has been around, I think, for a couple years.
The Alpha series has come and gone, and they've revamped it a few times. And yeah.
Oh, okay.
Quick shout out to Lemmy Hangs Long in chat as well. What up? Welcome to chat. As well as Matt.
Dennis did do those things, but yes. Did we have another connection bump with you? Oh,
yeah, no.
I heard him talking about Matt. I didn't hear him say anything about Lemmy.
Oh, fair enough.
Yeah, one then the other, but that's cool. That's cool.
Yeah, sorry.
Oh yeah, I have a picture of flyways that somebody took that I should probably pop up on the camera here. Yeah, bam. Yeah, so I mean, it's a tiny little knife. I know Paul pretty much said he's planning on buying one. Yeah.
Yeah, it's happening.
Yeah. It's a cute little knife, and especially the way that you're going to carry this as a neck knife. Yeah, I could see getting some decent use out of this.
Well, I really like that when I throw this into the woods, that his binoculars are going to go with it. So that makes me happy. It's. Can I see your knife for a second?
No.
No,
you may not.
Leave it attached. It's fine. It's fine.
The next time you ask me that in the woods, I'm just going to hand you the Super Freak.
Yeah, the knife that used to be mine. Yeah.
See if you can do it.
Well, I was also just going to make a crack that when I threw this into the woods with the binoculars, you're definitely not going to find it because it's going to come flying out of the sheath when I throw it.
It's gone. It's fucking gone.
Knife one way, binos the other. It's
all right. What else we got? We're getting 8:20 already. Wow.
Yeah. Who next?
Well, referencing our image here, we've talked about. Oh, I guess we could briefly talk about the. Did we do a video on the tagged out? I feel like we did. I can't remember now.
Did we do a video on the tagged out?
I don't think so. No. We held off on it because we ended up doing QSP instead.
Right. Yeah, we did. Yeah.
So Magna Cut tagged out, you say? It's tagged out.
So let's talk about the orange elephant in the room. The reason why none of us are super excited about this knife. The blade's fucking orange. What the hell? So I think
can
the
I
work.
get the satin version? Yeah.
Yeah, I think the working theory is that it was supposed to be crewwear before Magna Cut's development was effectively announced, but then they decided we're going to hardline that, but we're going to keep Cerakote. And from
It matches other things in their lineup that also don't make sense as far as steel choices. So
still fucking awful. Just truly awful. The
yeah.
original was, and that is one we did do a video on, was the Greibery handle in the orange.
In green. We did the
Oh
green
yeah,
one.
there was
45
the green one
versus
too.
we played with that variation because I do have a comparison with all three of those. There's a pick in there somewhere too.
Yeah, just trying to navigate it. Look through
So I think the
there we
big
go.
thing with this is like straight up Benchmade could have not coated this thing. Saved money on not coating this thing, charged the same goddamn amount of money. I guarantee it. You could get away with it. They could get away with it. They've been doing worse lately.
Yeah.
And save themselves the money on Cerakote and come up with a satin blade, come up with it for the same price, still make higher margin than they could have been, and people would have liked it more. But the orange coating just shot himself in the foot.
Not
like
not only did they do an orange coating on the blade, but they used the leftover fucking anodized backspacers from the green handled one. Instead of Cerakoting the backspacer to make the colors match.
Oh no, that's not leftover. They made more.
Yeah, but I mean, come on, like the answer's right in front of you. And it would have at least matched. Like if you're gonna do this and you're gonna charge us for it, at least finish the job. Come on.
They could barely get the orange to stay on the blade. You think it's gonna stay on that?
Oh yeah, that's the other thing.
Well, it's a different orange, so it's fine.
Well, that's why they didn't go with the Cerakote, is because it wouldn't have stayed.
So when we were talking about the meat crafters a while ago, we were talking about how I think it was Dennis who had brought up the that some Cerakotes are like more flexible than others, but they have a certain curing temperature that was different. Like it was a
They're not baked.
Yeah, bake-on versus like a
air dry versus bake-on coatings. Yeah.
Bacon coating. So
the tang. No, yeah, disgusting.
Bacon. Chewing on your knife.
Taste the pennies.
I won't say flaky, but there's some orange residue on a lot of the tagged outs.
I would say almost
surfaces.
Yummy.
Yeah. So on the bright side, the coating might be easier to remove than you would otherwise suspect. On the downside, the coating might be very easy to remove. So, sorry, what was that, Paul?
Oh, I was going to say that was the upside for me as well, is that you could potentially remove it easier.
Yeah, but just like, what the fuck? You're gonna do this to a steel that is almost as stainless as LC200N, more stainless, or about as or more stainless than 20 CV. You're gonna Cerakote it, and you're gonna leave it gummy. It's cool. It's sweet, especially for. I'm sorry. How much was this knife again?
Well, USD? They heard Paul was going to be chewing on it, so they left it gummy a little bit. It's fine.
Yeah.
They didn't leave enough days before the launch date of it to actually get that gumminess out.
375 American dollar dues. The S45 VN version is going for 300.
Can I say though, I really like the carbon fiber handle.
Dude, I love the handle. If this knife did not have the Cerakote issue on the blade at all, aside from price, I would be heavily tempted by this knife. And this is even in a moment where I've more or less sworn off anything with an Omega spring for my own longevity issues with the material. That knife is freaking awesome outside of that blade coating. Outside of Benchmade pricing, but
you notice how they faked it on their website and made the oranges match?
Yeah, the backspace is much brighter.
That does look like they fucked around in Photoshop for a bit.
Well, they were running out, because they had all that overspray on the blades.
I was going to say they Cerakoted one.
Isn't that interesting? They don't actually provide a close-up on the...
There's no disassembly picture?
Hold on a fucking
Yep,
second.
it's a disassembly drawing, no?
I don't think so. I don't think there is one.
That is Cerakote. That is absolutely Cerakote. You can't convince me otherwise.
Carbon fiber with exposed orange anodized backspacer lanyard. So I was thinking that like maybe there's a revision and now they're doing the circuit, but no, the description still says anodized. So.
No, I think they just did it for the photo.
Oh, I see. Those motherfuckers.
I imagine they just took a sample of orange from the blade and colored in.
Oh, I see what you mean. Like in post kind of in editing. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
For the clicks. Yeah.
Oh yeah, it gets a 5.0 on their website. Huh? Yeah,
okay. Anyway. Mini Super Freak.
Hey, how about a knife we could actually be a little bit more excited about, or at least
it's super freaky.
Could get super excited about.
I'm okay with it.
You're okay with it, my guy. You're downsizing and upgrading in your mind. So here's a spread with Dennis's full-sized, the new mini super in the middle. What's up? Oh, I'm sorry, Paul's. Paul's now. Yes. And the S90V version on bottom. Yeah.
I'm keeping it lefty.
It's on loan.
As a throwback.
It'll work its way back eventually.
We'll just straight trade.
90-day pawn shop buyback policy.
It's $10 cheaper American than the full size one M4, and it's 40. Yeah.
I like how they made it $10 cheaper, but they didn't budge on the immunity versus a bailout. Like those prices had to be exactly the same.
Yeah.
But this one's just G10, so we can, we charge a little bit less. Yeah, it's fine. It's fine.
It's clearly $10 of G10 cheaper. Come on.
You overestimate the price of G10, sir. But
all I heard was lefty. Gross. That's sick. Nice.
So yeah, I mean, it falls into more and more of what I've been using lately is just a smaller EDC. It's all you need on a regular basis. If it's a tough enough blade steel.
You're starting to agree with Ben, Mr. Ben Peterson. Peterson?
Yeah, I think so. I think so.
Does it pass the dentist test? Them apple picking fingers?
Oh, I hate his test. It's
and it's arbitrary.
That test doesn't come into play with me. Yeah.
It's such a silly test. It's like 0.5 millimeter thinner on the blade.
You know what I point with? My knife. I point with my knife. I don't need to point with my pointer finger because I point with my knife. Anyway.
I appreciate how exasperated you sounded for that.
Jesus Christ, man. Come on. Like
we got
take the training wheels off of your blade, Ben.
Collision Man 14 in chat is carrying a Spedico Paisan. One everybody else carrying.
Nice.
For the Benchmade stream, yeah. It's okay.
It is so, yeah, and I don't know, the S90 too thick on the original Mini Super Freak. That's where the bug outs and the flyways and other thin things belong in S90, like a Siren, and a Native and those things.
I think this is better suited to M4 for sure.
Now hold on a second.
I'll see if I can spine whack it and collapse it like a mini. I bet you my Mini Super Freak's gonna be tougher than my Mini Hijamas. It's so ridiculous too because of the like pure G10 liners versus the solid steel liners.
I'm pretty sure I checked and it doesn't have the same issue of the lock bar bottoming out.
So both of the minis are a stock thickness of 2.6 mils. The full size is a 3. That's nice. That's a nice reduction. Well, 2.9, but functionally 3. Which is good, too, because the blade is actually a little bit less tall. Doesn't have quite the height before it gets to that edge. Speaking of that edge, Jesus Christ, are you going to put a 17 or a finer degree edge on the M4 on the Mini?
I think we discovered or decided it was a 15.
Something like that?
It was probably a 15. Yeah.
It's slicey. I'll tell you that.
Yeah, it probably needs to be touched up because it's like when I saw it, I'm like, I don't even know. I haven't touched this thing. I haven't, blade's been sharp. It's been cutting through shit. I haven't been noticing. Yeah. So
it's not as like hair splitting as you can go, but it's definitely completely serviceable and sharper than most people's knives, I would imagine at this point still.
That's fair.
Yeah, I probably will thin it out.
Good. M4 can take it. That's awesome.
And I don't know if Dick Richards just hates what's happening because Benchmade stole the Ritter grip and didn't call it a Ritter grip, but I still like it because it's a Ritter grip and I'm going to use it like it's a Ritter grip.
Ritter grip.
So, yeah, I don't think much needs to be said. It's just a small version. You know what the small version is. It's just new materials. Yeah.
I'm more excited about this, though, than the S90 full size.
Yeah, I don't know.
I
think when it comes to big slabs of carbon fiber, it like the marbled, and I think that's where they're changing a lot of it, is they need something to stand out. Big slabs of carbon fiber that are just checkered slabs of carbon fiber aren't wowing people anymore. You need fat, you need marbled, you need copper shred, you need something, right? Like, so I think in a full-sized S90, like you're gonna have even more handle. That's just a big slab of like even more so than the Mini, right? Yeah, and I think we're past that, guys. I think people are tired of
it.
Big surface area checkered carbon fiber.
It's either they need to move on to more complex material, or they need to start looking at some more complex machining to make.
You could theoretically make this one purple too.
What's that?
You could theoretically make this one purple too.
Purple?
Yeah, the gray would go purple. We were talking about it earlier.
Oh, I see. Yes. I wonder how the red would react because those liners are effectively like they're all part of the same.
Yeah.
Oh, right. I'm into that. It'd go burgundy.
Yeah, I'd be curious to see how it turned out.
Ron, cool. Burgundy. Let's see.
60% of the time it works every time.
Wait for your piccolo solo. It's fine.
I think we've covered all the. Please don't. I think we've talked about all the knives now.
The only thing I was going to throw out is the Mini Barrage. We did dabble on it to begin with, but what I didn't dabble on, and I will point out, comparison picture because I do have my M390 as well as we do have the 154. I like how it's this weirdly freshened up the Barrage for me.
Yeah.
I don't know why, but I mean, they came out with those gray S31s and they were a bit of a wash. I don't know. They didn't do it for a lot of guys. I have the gray Grip Chileans and I think those were a good platform, but I think they pushed their luck when they tried to do the gray Barrages and it was just too much gray. Right. So, Richlight seems to be a pretty hot thing. I will say even the texturing on it and whatever with the purple stuff that I've been playing with, it's pretty impressive. But I also giggled at the fact that both of you guys as front runners was an S30V blade out of the 7 goddamn choices on that shelf. Both of you guys were like, I don't know, that S30 Barrage is nice Magna Cut and S90 and like all sorts of crap up there, right? Like it's The
Richlight changes this knife so much. Just both in texture, in hand, how it feels, and just it's beautiful. I think you're right as far as they refreshed that line for me as well.
And everyone we've handled to it. I mean, the price point again is Benchmade pricing, and you're just like, Jesus, guys, come on! Like it's $350 is not what this knife should be worth. But
they finally got me to admit though that Crater Blue and that Flat Earth looks good together. Because on this knife, it looks pretty good together.
$300 American EDS for this guy, not $350, but $350 Canadian or $360 or whatever it's.
Yeah, $300 US for this guy.
So,
sorry, go ahead.
I was just gonna say, for the record, yes, 3D machining instead of injection molded polymer, which is honestly probably the reason why there's this much cost increase. But at the end of the day, Richlight is paper micarta, and it's cheap. just letting it be known that it's about the same cost as G10, maybe slightly cheaper. So don't.
Okay.
Yeah, it is.
Brand doesn't mean shit.
Not necessarily. There might be difficulties or considerations to be had as far as machining it too quickly. I've heard the rich light can actually burn if you're not careful. So maybe that's part of the cost, is they have to slow down certain processes to make it work. In my own
Can't you just
experience,
soak it in lube?
what's that?
Can't you just soak it in lube and be done?
Apparently not. No.
No.
I was just gonna say, like, I haven't done very much machining, but I have had some rich light come in recently. It mills and drills pretty much like G10, not that much different. So
Interesting. Now, I don't think it actually says anywhere on the specs on Benchmade's website. All it really says about the backspacer in particular. I'm just looking. I can't find it off the
I'm
top
sorry.
here.
This is S30V, right? That's what the knife is labeled on our shelves, correct?
Correct.
Yeah, it just said F90, did it not?
It did. Okay, but it says down here S30V, so I think they just got their information fucked up on their specs sheet, because it did say S90V Super Premium Stainless at 5961. I'm like, that's the wrong range for Satin S90 from Benchmade.
S90, yeah.
Also, that's not what this knife is. So I think they just copy pasted the wrong information.
Typoed something. Yeah, for sure.
Anyhow, sorry, what were you originally looking for? I zeroed in.
The actual backspacer itself. There was a conversation about what the backspacer material may or may not be made out of, whether it's G10, whether it's rich light, whether it's something other material.
I think it's injection molded.
Well, I have a second picture for you.
Oh, okay, cool.
And it might be injected molded. The other thing I thought it might be is maybe it's Velox, because that's their plastic and molding. But if you look at that picture in particular and you zoom in on where that little notch is cut out, you don't get that shine from anything but some form of plastic.
Yeah,
in that little cutout, right?
I think this is injection molded polymer. I don't know exactly what kind, but it does look like it. Yes.
It looks a lot like some CRKT backspaces you'll see where the screws have protrude through it, because you can see them.
Yes. But yeah, that in particular was the dead giveaway of whether it's injected molded, whether it was the Velox. The Velox doesn't really have much shine to it, so it might be just an injected molded plastic at this point, right? So, yeah.
I do kind of wish they had gone with something a little bit nicer if they're going to charge us this kind of money, but...
Infinite is lamenting in chat about being Dennis's friend and how he only used to like 2 Benchmade designs, and now he looks at his collection and there's many, and it's all Dennis's fault apparently.
Where did all these friggin' Benchmades come from? Yeah, they pop up like gophers.
Yeah,
yeah. One of those ones came from me. I know I sold you an Adonis.
Yeah, but it was my influence. And then we did a blade swap on a bug out, so that was 100% my influence.
It's funny though, because that Adamas was also yours. That came to me and then went to him.
Yeah, it's true story. It's true story. Yeah. Okay, I think that actually rounds us up now.
I think that is actually, yes, good catch on that, because yeah, we didn't really get into it. Overall, considering the knives for what they are, it's a move in a good direction overall, even if I don't necessarily personally like the directions that some of these knives are going in.
Least favorite?
Least favorite,
we started with most. We might as well end with least.
That's fair.
Least favorite, mostly down to the price, is gonna be the Weekender, but follow up to that would be the Magna Cut tagged out, because what the fuck, guys, you fumbled this hard.
Tagged out for me.
Yeah.
It would also be the tagged out for me. But they tried to steal a base by coming out with the Adamas to make up for it. They almost stole that base.
I'm upset that they came out with this one so late, because I would have bought this one.
Yeah. Fair.
Well, it's never too late, Paul. It's never too late.
No, it is. I've already bought 2 of them. I'm not buying a third.
You say that now.
But they fixed the lock problems, Paul. They fixed
Did
them.
they?
They fixed
Well,
them.
according to the one video that I've gotten from one of our regulars, and I actually was like, "Oh, you scored one of those. Those were hard to get. They flew off our shelf." He's like, "Yeah, I got it from you guys." I'm like, "Oh, yeah, cool."
That tracks. Yeah.
Nice. You'll have to
Um,
tell me off stream.
I gotta admit, everything else on this counter, I'm actually okay with. The price point's not so much okay with, but
Yes.
other than the MagnaCat tagged out, that was a fumbly. I mean, there's a lot of things they should have done right the first time around. I mean, the altitude is one of them for sure, and the inconsistency of price points on this price jump from a weekender, but only $50 jump on an Adamas. There's $40 jump on an S90 versus a 154. Flyway, right? Like there's no logic. There's no logic to any of those price points half the time.
Yeah.
When is the shirtless man stream? Never. Never.
Nobody wants to see that.
I mean, I would be covered in beard anyways, so it might as well be a shirtless man stream. But no.
no, is that like mainstream?
Sure. Yeah, you can have that one.
Why do we even watch this?
As a treat.
Infinite, why do we as a treat? Why do we even watch this when e-girls are streaming on Twitch? Look, you have 2 monitors.
Yeah,
you can have a couple
right
different
now.
things
Yeah,
going.
who's
Come
saying
on.
you're not? Let's be honest here, guys. Come on. All right, round it out. I think we're done here. Yeah, new Benchmates. Some of them were worth checking out. If you don't own the OG ones already, it might be worth pulling the trigger on an upgraded one. If you own the OG ones already, might be hard to pull the trigger on an upgraded one. That's
That's a fair
unless
point.
you just sell one of them to one of your buddies so you can buy a new one.
Yeah, I mean that actually is a decent point to briefly discuss too, because like there's a lot of aftermarket options for some of these models that have been around a while. Like the Freak, I'm pretty sure you can find scales for. I know the Barrage you can. The Mini Adamas is popular enough. You could probably get someone to make something, but if it's mostly like
but AWT does mini
Yeah.
Super Freak scales, right? Like it's there's definitely options out there for these platforms if you want to bling them. Yeah. So, but yeah, I think that's it for me.
That's fair.
Yeah.
Apparently, Justin is starting an OnlyFans. Oh, OnlyFlans, excuse me.
OnlyFlans. OnlyFlans and other baked goods. Dude, I'd actually, a baking channel, you could probably do decently well with that.
That's a great YouTube handle for baked goods content.
I like legitimately could see you getting a decent viewer base for that type of thing. Cooking shows have been popular, man. Come on, it's now you got to do it. You've made the joke. Now I'm taking it too seriously. You have to do it.
No, I'm taking it too seriously. You have to do it. Yeah,
I know.
That.
I know what I'm about.
And I think we went full circle back to the shirtless man stream right there. It's so
that's not what I'm
about. We got guys in the chat already talking about awesome stream and like they're gonna run away on us.
It's 8:45, man.
yeah, no, I get it. It's one. I got one small thing to add.
You do,
for the week, and then we can leave.
All right, I can hang on to mine. That's fine.
Oh, sorry. This one, I feel like
okay.
if I don't spill the beans right now, you guys will figure it out.
Oh, it's time sensitive. Okay.
It certainly is.
I have it. I haven't opened it. So why don't you talk us in?
So
bean spill there, Paul.
I think it was a couple months ago, more than a couple weeks ago. So a couple months ago, we were talking about Microtech knives, the Stitch, and whatever the long skinny one is called.
The MSI, I think. Yeah.
The MSI, yeah. And in that conversation, Dennis ended up cutting himself with an amphibian. And there was a whole conversation about how great the amphibian is and they should bring it back and blah, blah, blah.
Oh, is this going where I'm thinking it's going?
Open the photo, Joe. Open the photo.
Oh.
Would you like a ram-locked Amphibian?
Yeah. Oh shit.
Yep.
Fuck.
Yep.
Aw, man. That's awesome.
Oh, sweet. It's got the M390. Okay. Steel.
Okay.
Of
Yeah.
course.
Oh
Of
no.
course.
Oh no, I'm gonna buy a new Microtech. Fuck.
Uh,
So I'm gonna be selling
that's
some
all right.
chunks out of my collection if people want to help me
I was
fund
gonna
some
say,
bad decisions.
I wonder if you can do a blade swap with your original one.
Probably not.
No, you can't. That's silly.
Red lock?
Stop
Lock
talking.
interface. Stop talking.
I mean, you should do it. You should totally do it and let me know how that works out for you.
Okay, but the profile is not that dissimilar. Oh man.
Yeah, just get your
Oh,
files out. It'll fine. You grind some shit out.
that's so cool.
You can make it work.
Oh shit, and it's coil springs instead of bullshit Omega springs. Oh man, I'm so happy. Okay, so it wasn't that long ago. It was like not a week and a half ago when I was looking at Arizona custom knives and had found, and I was showing Dennis this beautiful mirror polished custom. You know what?
So Dick Richards is asking what the F a ram lock is. I think specifically a ram lock is actually the pocket Bushman. It's specifically a ram lock. This is not a
Yeah.
ram lock. Yeah.
Oh,
Well, I think they're calling it a ram lock as well, are they not?
It's
They
got-
call
it's
it
an
that
X
in the,
lock.
in the video.
RAM lock. Yep.
Okay.
Oh, L-O-K. So maybe the spelling is slightly different. Oh.
With the old X button, you know?
Hmm.
The X is for extreme.
Isn't a ram lock on an electric fence?
Why can't I? Oh, there it is. Okay, this fucking thing, and every once in a while a new custom would pop up. 5,000 American, by the way. So if you want this, hey, it's available. For 5K,
A CPM.
dude. If CPM ends up with this, just to tease me, I'd enjoy it a little bit. But holy shit, yeah. So a affordable version of this, I will be trying to get one of these. 100%. I will be trying to get one of these.
So yeah, that's the thing.
Well, that's
So-
cool. That's cool as shit. Thank you for telling us, Paul.
And just to get into some semantics here, the Cold Steel Bushman is the RAM safe lock.
That's why that they're okay. They're distinct. All right.
Are they? Sue each other.
I don't know, man. One of them's
I'll
got a
do it.
coil spring that pushes a piece of steel up behind the blade, and the other one's got a coil spring that pushes a piece. Hey, hold on a second. Sue each other.
It's completely different. It's those bars are in completely different spots on the spine of the knife.
They are.
We should
actually.
probably thank Blade HQ for me stealing this photo from them as well.
Oh yeah, thank you, Blade HQ, for
Absolutely
showing off
stole
the
it.
Microtech Amphibian Ram Lock.
Well, we weren't going to steal it from Microtech.
There's a joke to be made there,
Blade-
but anyway.
Yeah. Blade HQ is a little more
quite
forgiving.
surprised. This came out. I want to say this was from Thursday, where that you could probably see a date in that photo where I screen grabbed it. That's
I
fair.
scrambled to make sure that Joe didn't see it in the next 3 days.
no date.
Yeah, the only reason I wanted to mention it tonight is because there's definitely a situation. Did you see it, Dennis?
No, I did not.
Okay.
So how about you,
Um,
Dennis? You gonna buy one?
No, I don't like the new blade shape. I think it's kind of ugly.
What the hell? It's the same as the old one. It's just
No, it's not.
it's got a
Don't make me
sledge.
get my old one out and cut myself again.
This is
Yeah, let's do it. Let's make him cut himself. Make him cut himself.
Dennis, this has more of a sledge. Look at it. It's even more sweaty. It's more up your alley. It's more of a Bowie. Come on.
Don't tell me where my alley is.
Oh God. Why are you
It's
talking about it now?
right up your alley.
I'll show you your alley. Look.
I'll
See,
show you your alley.
look. It's basically the same thing. It's
You need a bathroom mirror for that type of thing.
you need a good throwing arm for that kind of thing. Don't worry about it. The blades
I don't
made.
even know what that
Come
means.
I would argue that the handle's more different. This one, it kind of has that little, I don't know what to call that.
I think it's where the point of the blade is more than anything else. I think the point of the new one dips down. It's more speary.
I was
Yeah,
gonna
you're right.
say, yeah, okay, maybe a little bit.
That's the biggest difference that
Yeah.
I'm seeing is that's like where the grind.
It might just be the photo and how it's sitting.
I'm trying to look at other photos now because this one does look like it does follow that arc, but no, the tip is higher. If you were to draw a center line out,
But where the grind is, the grind goes all the way up to the tip point on the new one. And it's a high grind that
the grind
cuts up into the belly. Yeah.
Oh, I see.
That's what I don't like about it.
Okay. I like it enough that I'm still going to get it, but I see your point.
I don't know how Lemmy's asking in chat how much the affordable version is. I don't know exactly how much the MSIs and the stitches are going for.
I'm going to say 6.
Probably $500 or $600.
Yeah.
I really want a stitch.
Well, it's M390K, so it might be 7 or 8.
Okay.
Maybe.
Okay.
I guess I should have checked Blade HQ first just to see.
Yeah, I mean,
we did steal their picture, We go to Knife Center to price verify after we stole Blade HQ's picture. Show them to the cutting edge. Why not throw that mix in there too,
dude? 302 American. That's not god
that's
awful.
Like 6, right? No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah, kind of close enough. Okay, but crap. All right.
Yeah, thought you should know.
Yeah, fuck. I'm actually really excited about this knife now. Damn it.
So certain angles that blade shape almost looked like a McHenry. There's also other blade shapes that you were looking at one picture earlier, and it almost looked like an Emerson with a chisel grind on the the blade was pointing towards you. I think it was just in the images that you were looking at, but there was one that was like, holy, that almost looks like a
one of these guys, maybe. Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, one of them. I can't remember
what's which. A stitch go for?
What's that?
So what's a stitch go for?
I'll give you one for free. It's fine.
Thank you.
Yeah, no problem.
I
mean, I have to do it with your knife so I can throw it across into the river afterwards,
dude.
right? But,
same price for the same grade with the G10 and the M390 MK.
Sure.
Yeah.
Really? Okay. I'm buying a stupid knife.
Yep. I thought you were gonna get that stitch eventually anyway. To be perfectly honest.
I was planning on it at $600. I will definitely get it.
You get a deep carry clip, and I don't. Actually,
you get a milled clip.
I get a milled clip, so there's that. And no. I don't. Okay, here's my hot take for the night. I like non-deep carry clips specifically because they happen to sit in my hand more comfortably. I don't feel them pinch as much. There you go. It's a slight preference, but it does exist, so I'm going to annoy people with it whenever possible.
Yeah, that's like $400 for that knife.
Yeah, yeah, that's happening. I'm gonna have to sell a few things, but that's definitely happening.
There's
just sell like 65, 70 of your CRKTs, and you'll have that money in no time.
Selling my CRKTs for this thing? Come on.
It's like, are you crazy?
I like the stupid bullshit that CRKT stops making after a year. Come on, I'm not getting rid of that.
I got a fact for sale. It'll get me closer a lot faster.
Actually, now I don't carry that fact all that frequently. Maybe I should sell it.
It'll get you closer a lot faster.
Yeah, that's true.
I mean, you'll have to sell 30 CRKTs to get that money. They have no resale value. It's $25 I'll give you for that shit. Come on.
Yeah, no, I'm like
having a fact in each pocket.
If you want it. Anyway,
I don't.
If you want it.
I feel so bad because I really
got some things on your plate, Paul. Let's deal with one thing before.
Yeah. Don't forget about our deal, basically.
Wow, I got an empty spot in my knife kit here. It's
make it a Mitch. Let's make it a Mancy. Yeah.
I've got a subvert about half paid off too, almost half.
Yeah, that's fair.
All right, gentlemen, we're good to go.
I think so. Oh wow, what a high note! Holy shit! I'm excited. I am so
Yep.
excited.
You're welcome.
Okay.
I was holding on to that trinket, and for some reason, I thought they had announced. Did they announce a like sprint run or something like that of the amphibian?
They did some higher end versions, like that mirror polished one I was showing off, but
Okay.
they never announced anything anywhere near affordable for like a more budget entry level option. But they did the Stitch, they did the MSI, and I was like, oh, wouldn't it be cool? And it is cool. It is
So we
cool.
had talked about it. That was. I was like, I'm pretty sure we've talked about this. I'm not sure if it was this one or if it was
Yeah.
that fancy
Yeah.
one you showed off.
It was the fancy guy because the one you showed us tonight didn't exist
Until
at that point. Yeah.
All right. Thank you to the Cutting Edge Cutlery Co. for bringing in some new Benchmates for us to play with. I'll let it go that you didn't bring in any of the new autos, but we kept our retail license, so that's cool. That's cool.
Yeah.
No one's been arrested. Everything's
I'll let
fine.
it go this time. It's yeah.
Ow! I bit my tongue. You made me bite my tongue.
Good.
That's what you get. You still don't get autos. I can't. Yeah, it doesn't matter how much you injure yourself.
Yeah,
I don't think I can convince them to play that game, but yeah.
that is fair.
You never know.
It's okay.
Give yourself a Stitch. Maybe they'll bring in an auto Stitch. You never know.
I've thanked better. It's fine. It's...
Yeah, thanked better before. Yeah.
Someone thank better.
Oh yeah, thanks to people over on Instagram for following us regardless of content
activity or interaction.
Appreciate all you. I'll interact sometimes. I'll like back. I'll follow back.
You'll do those things, yeah.
Thank you to everyone who continues to subscribe to us on Patreon. We really do appreciate it. Christmas 2023, that's a thing. It's actually a thing we've talked about more than once even. Seems to be a thing we could probably get our butts in gear if we actually
probably should do that as soon as possible.
Yeah.
Probably. But yes, appreciate everything that you guys do. We're just going to give it all back to you guys as a big thank you. So yeah, that's that.
Absolutely.
So,
yeah.
I am actually making a physical note at this point to bring it up this week, so we can have a discussion and get shit rolling. But
cool,
there we go.
Cool story, bro. Yeah, it's yeah, and I think that's it.
I think so.
You know, Patreon, Instagram, Cutting Edge.
That's
YouTube,
all.
Like, subscribe, share, all the things. Join us again next week. Are we doing Thanksgiving next week? What's going on? What the hell?
Oh yeah,
is it Thanksgiving next week?
Yeah, it is. And then I get married the weekend after that.
Oh, let's just say we're
definitely not happening the weekend after that.
Yeah.
There's a decent chance that I won't be around
for Sunday. Okay, so we might be out of lunch for 2 weeks in a row here after this.
I think that might be happening. I might be going to go see my grandparents. I don't know.
Okay. So on that note, being that I'm getting married in 2 weeks and we might not have a live stream again before that, I'll be a married ass man by the time we get back here too. But the other thing that I had to mention about being a married ass man on October 14th is that I actually get married while there's a solar eclipse happening. So that's pretty badass for those of the guys who don't know. The other thing for those who don't know is
wicked.
Literally it's happening while we're getting married, the time of the ceremony and the eclipse is happening at the same time.
I really hope that just
so the other awesome thing that's happening as well is Blade Show West is actually happening that weekend. As well as the solar eclipse. And then the other badass thing that's happening is Red Bull Rampage is actually happening that weekend too. So apparently all the good things in the universe are happening that weekend. And I'm saying that with Blade Show West, like really, like come on, guys. I just said the best things in the universe, and then I said Blade Show in the same sentence. So, like,
get it together.
Get
your shit together.
Do something, guys.
Get your poop in a group.
Yeah, I mean, you're competing with Rampage, a wedding, and an eclipse, guys. Seriously.
Yeah, this is biblical shit.
So you swing for the fences. Like, yeah, it's locusts and shit. It's
No, we covered that 2 weeks
That was
ago.
last week. Yeah, for sure. So
there you go.
All right.
Well, thanks for hanging us hanging with us this week, guys. Pleasure to see you.
Thanks for hanging us.
We
That's it.
will see you guys in a couple weeks here. Yeah. Have a great Thanksgiving, guys. All long weekend and all of that stuff. Smoked turkeys and all, deep fried turkeys and all. The furduckins.
Furduckins?
Yeah, that's right.
Furduckins.
It's a pheasant on the outside.
All
It's
right.
PH.
Could
Uh,
have been a ptarmigan.
Yeah. All right, guys. Thanks for joining us. We will see you again here in a couple weeks. I am who I am. I'm Dennis Vipers.
I am Darren Joe.
And I'm exile.ca.
Thanks again. See you later.
Next time you'll see me, I'll be Phillikins Peahawk.
Yeah. Mr. Vanita Vipers.